Hi guys, it's Fallon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I will be fighting against a 5'10", 175-pound white belt in gi. And it's still August, so everyone knows what that means. We're still doing 10-minute rolls, which is absolutely atrocious sometimes, especially when you do more than one class. So this day I actually did 3 classes, all 10-minute rolls, so I was absolutely gassed. But it's funny because once August is over and it's September, I actually miss the 10-minute rolls, and the timer will go off and our regular 7-minute rolls. I'm like, that's all we get? That was it? So it's just funny how your body adjusts. All right, anyway, let's get to it. Oh, I already threw a triangle. So I used foot on the bicep as a setup to get this triangle. Isaiah went ahead and stood up right away, which is not necessarily what I like because all the gravity is pushing me down and he's pushing me down, and it's really hard to keep my legs locked because there's a lot of pressure on my ankles. So I do my best at honestly just trying to hug him. Like I wrap my arms, I wrap my legs, and I just grab a hold of his head, whatever I can, just to try to keep it locked. So as you see, I am trying to actually get a guillotine. That way maybe he would go back to the floor because he would get scared, which he ends up doing. So I don't have a tight guillotine grip, so I switch right to a Kimura, which means I have 2 submissions in place depending on what reaction he gives me. And right now I have a better chance at getting the Kimura than the triangle because I have his arm behind his back. However, he locked his hands together, which is not something someone typically does. So I was thinking about going for the triangle, but I knew if I just kept on pulling that arm towards his spinal cord, towards his neck, that it would eventually break. But that was something random that happens. I used to do that when I was a white belt because I have flexible shoulders, but you don't really see that. But that reaction is kind of a last resort reaction, not necessarily something that will stop it. So don't be worried when that stuff happens. Just keep your position, you'll get the submission. So now here I went inverted into a deep half. Someone always comments on my videos that I leave myself open for a knee bar here, and I most certainly did. So now I'm trying to do the tabletop sweep, which you guys see me do a lot. He's doing a great job at driving his hips forward. That way I have to invert completely underneath and change my position and go for a knee bar. So here I'm really just trying to anchor myself to his leg and push my hips as far as possible to straighten out that leg to get the submission. I used to always be able to get that tabletop sweep on him, so once again, always great seeing a white belt improve in certain situations because he definitely shut down that tabletop sweep, so you can kind of see learning from experience unfold here, which is cool. Okay, so now he's passing and I'm playing guard, which is something I am very used to. And he grabs both ankles, lifts them in the air, and this has actually been happening to me a lot with some white belts, and I don't know what to do, so I just crab walk towards them and then they usually let go. So now he goes in looking like he was going to go for a knee slice, but I have an inverted De La Riva, which I usually do a pretty good job at stopping the knee slice with that. So as you see, I am getting a deep collar grip because I've been working on the loop choke or just a simple cross collar choke. So I'm kind of setting him up for that in case he passes. And I actually implemented this into my game because on my last video someone commented that I should have cross-choked when someone was passing. So you guys are actually helping my jiu-jitsu game out too, which is cool. So here I am getting that cross-choke with my left hand deep in the collar and my right hand 4 fingers in the gi, and I am twisting my wrist in while pulling his gi in a downward angled motion to get a blood choke on both sides of his neck. Alright, so now we're starting off fresh again. He is choosing to pass my guard. So once again, I'm kind of just allowing him to do whatever pass he wants so I can work on the defense for it. Since he's a white belt, I kind of let them choose where they want to start. So he starts with a speed pass trying to go to north-south. So I kind of just have to rotate my whole body with him and follow so he doesn't actually get the north-south position. So as you see, I'm trying to creep my legs in to try to take the back. I have a very flexible guard, so this is kind of easy for me. Some other people with different body types it might not be, but I'm always very comfortable in crazy positions like this where I'm kind of just all the pressure balled up on my neck. So he's doing a good job by kicking his legs out to ensure that I don't get my hooks in. So this is making me slide down his back, which is bad for me. So I kind of have to abort mission here and try to circle back into just regular guard or full guard. So we went out of frame here, so I just fast forwarded a little bit because he's still passing my guard. Nothing happened so far. So I'm starting with a collar grip and getting my De La Hiva hook, which is always my starting ground most of the time because I'm just very comfortable in trying to berimbolo people from there. But he grabs my right knee and pushes it between his leg, which automatically puts me into deep half. But he's putting a lot of pressure forward, so I can't do the tabletop sweep. So instead, I have to circle under and try to take the back. However, he sat back at the same time I went for it, so instead I am in a berimbolo position where I have to kick my leg straight back. That way I can roll into a mount position. We're a little bit out of frame, but bear with me. We'll get right back into the center soon because he's fighting, so I end up taking side control. He is rolling into me, so I end up hopping over and taking the back. Always trying to attack the neck during this process. He is doing a very good job at preventing me from getting my hooks in by grabbing my pants and pushing them away, but it also allowed me to hook over his arm, which is going to allow me to go for a submission now. So I'm going to rotate under his body and shoot my leg up as high as possible while firmly gripping his arm to keep it trapped inside my triangle. So now I just have to readjust and squeeze to get the submission via triangle. And that's actually one of my favorite ways to get a triangle, when you're kind of upside down like that and people are trying to get north-south and they're reaching in, and you just rotate completely under and you snap the triangle like a Venus flytrap is what I always feel like. But that wraps it up for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the mats next week. Bye guys!